that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome in to Southwest Bias, the only debate show with actual consequences. We got a banger for you guys today, so why don't we just go ahead and meet our two master debaters.
Today's matchup, Shaun versus Espo.
Guys, I want to keep it clean today. You guys got 2 minutes on the clock. You know the rules. You've been here before. Let's check out what round one is. Shaun, we'll go ahead and start with you since you are the winner, and 2 minutes starts now.
Is Aaron Judge the home run king? How many has he hit? How many has Bonds hit? The answer is no. There's only two opinions that matter here. It is Aaron Judge's and Major League Baseball's, and if you ask both of them, Barry Bonds is the home run king. It's not like some scrub just because he took steroids magically became a home run hitter. Barry Bonds, the first 10 years of his career before he started taking the steroids, is one of the greatest baseball players, at least one of the greatest hitters of all time. And also, they weren't testing for steroids back then. There's a little rule in the U.S. Constitution called ex post facto. You can't be charged for a crime if it was legal when it was done. Barry Bonds was not being tested for steroids. It wasn't illegal. What is he supposed to do? Nothing.
How about not take steroids? How about be ethical in a game where you're not supposed to cheat, whether it's a rule or not? Baseball's all about unwritten rules. That's all we ever hear about the damn game. Well, cheating the game by using roids shouldn't have happened. And you said Major League Baseball calls Barry Bonds the home run king, but actually the commissioner came out today and said that's a personal choice how you view that, which is the most wishy-washy way to say Barry Bonds ain't the home run king. All right. If they won't let him in the Hall of Fame, if they won't let Mark McGwire in the Hall of Fame, if they won't let Sammy Sosa in the Hall of Fame, why the hell are they counting their records? I don't think they should. If you cheat the game, you should not be on the list. I propose that they create a steroid home run list and the actual home run list where Aaron Judge is the rightful home run single season king. Hands down, Roger Maris Jr. said that should be the case, that Aaron Judge is the rightful home run king. When you look at what Roger Maris was supposedly throwing up, he was ill because of the home run chase. He was not on roids. He was actually mentally destroyed by that race. Aaron Judge comes out and does it the right way. I'm sorry, but if you cheat and you become what amounts to looking like a Funko Pop of a baseball player because you've used so much steroids, your freaking head becomes a size 8, that's problematic. What pisses me off the most, Barry Bonds was a great player, didn't need steroids, and still did that to the game anyways.
Listen, first off, the people that are putting people in the Hall of Fame are not the same people that really have a say in this. They're not Major League Baseball. Those same people are keeping Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame, and all he did was bet on games that he wasn't even playing in. He never bet against his team. That man should have been in the Hall of Fame, but these writers are holier than thou and like to be gatekeepers. So that argument means nothing to me. Also, it would be one thing if Bonds was the only person taking steroids, but damn near everybody at that time was taking steroids as I throw my notebook. Everybody was taking steroids. So you can't hold that against him. And then you mentioned Roger Maris. Look at who he was playing against. Half of the players in Major League Baseball, black players, mind you, weren't even allowed to play. He was playing at a time where guys were ripping darts in the dugout in between at bats. Baseball is a sport that has been around so long and changes over time. If you want to get nitpicky about it, then nothing means anything. Aaron Judge was playing at a time with better fitness than anybody ever. You're going to hold that against him? It's just how baseball works. Barry Bonds is the true home run king, whether you like it or not.
All that matters is how fans feel. And if the majority of fans, which it seems like a lot of fans, look at Aaron Judge as the true home run king, I'm going to go with that. I don't care what the writers, think. I don't care what you think, Shaun. I'm going to go with the people. And the people think that Aaron Judge is the rightful home run king.
Don't care what the writers think, but they're the ones you just mentioned in the Hall of Fame.
Hey. Keep it clean. All right. Chat, just a reminder, we open up voting after round 3. That is the end of round 1.
I demand we test Shaun for roids.
Shut your mouth, both of you. Let's go check out what round 2 has in store. Gentlemen, which one of these is more likely? The Coyotes don't finish in last place or the Suns win the West? Espo, you're on the clock.
If you've been a Coyotes fan, you realize that the race to the bottom has been a difficult one, right? It's not easy to finish last in a tanking race, especially when there's a guy like Bedard on the line in a league like the NHL. I think it's much more likely that the Coyotes don't finish in last than the Suns don't win the West. And I don't think the Suns have a great chance at winning the West this year, but I think that the Coyotes don't have a real great shot, no matter how hard they're going to try, at finishing in dead last in the NHL. It's a team that, by all accounts, is snake bitten. All right? So even when they try to be bad, they can't do it well enough. It's ridiculous that this team has never had the number one pick, and I don't think it's happening this year. I think the Coyotes have less of a chance.
Okay, well, the question isn't whether or not they're going to get the number one overall pick. It's whether or not they're going to finish in last. They're snake bitten in the lottery for sure. But the Coyotes are going to finish in last this year. It's more likely that the Suns win or reach the NBA Finals than it is the Coyotes not finishing in last. The Coyotes were, I believe, a point away from finishing in last in the NHL last year, and they're one of the only teams that is significantly worse this year. They have Karel Vejmelka starting in goal when they had Scott Wedgwood carrying them for half of the season. Their backup is unknown, and if their backup currently is on the roster, he's a guy that has like a sub 90 save percentage, which is terrible. That's not an NHL goalie. Then you look at the rest of their roster. You have guys that overachieved last year, and if they do that this year, they're still missing a lot of their veteran presence. They don't have Antoine Roussel, Louis Eriksson, a guy named Phil Kessel. This team is significantly worse. For them to not finish in last would be a monumental collapse. Look at the Suns, who are coming off the winningest record in basketball last year and have essentially the same roster. And you get all this talk about all the tumultuous offseason and DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton's coming and playing with a vengeance. Chris Paul, it's basically his last ride. If he wants a chance to win a ring, it's happening this year. Devin Booker, it just gets better and better every year. This team is going to come out with the mindset that they are going to silence the haters. The Coyotes are finishing in last. It's more likely that the Suns reach the NBA Finals.
Have you ever seen the movie Major League, Shaun?
I have.
This is the exact kind of major league team that it was in that movie. A team that played in a arena or ballpark that didn't really suit them, a nickel and diming organization at the time. This team is going to overachieve purely because nobody believes in them. They were built to fail, and in most cases, that doesn't work out right. And I think the chase to the bottom is going to be immense this year in the NHL. The allure of a guy like Bedard is huge. So what rosters are right now are not what they're going to be come the end of this season. There's going to be a massive push to tank. The Coyotes aren't going to finish in last. And the Suns have a huge uphill battle with how hard the West got this year, just with guys returning. And then you add a new talent coming into the West. The Suns have a Herculean task in front of them to win it.
That's fine, but the Suns are still the winningest team in basketball last year, and they haven't gotten any worse. So maybe the West is harder, but I still think it's more likely. The Coyotes are a downright bad team, and there's a difference between this Coyotes team and the Major League team. The Major League team was set for the purpose to fail. This
team is too.
This Coyotes team is not built for the purpose of failing and folding the franchise. They're just bad. They've got a lot of inexperienced players, a lot of young players, and they don't have goaltending. If you can't keep pucks out of the net, then you don't win games. And they don't have goaltending, so they're not going to win games. You look at the other teams, they got better. The Coyotes are bad.
Coyotes didn't have goaltending last year, and they still didn't finish last in the league, so that's not a good enough argument to me.
All right. Chad, just a reminder, voting opens up after this round. We're moving on to round 3. Let's see what we got. ASU football's got a new head coach, kind of. An interim coach, Shaun Aguano, Chandler High School legend. Shaun, you're familiar with him. Do you think he deserves a shot at the head coaching job at the end of this season? 2 minutes on the clock.
I mean, yes, he does. if he is good, he deserves a shot. Now, the question isn't, you're not asking me right now, should he have the job? Should he have the tag removed? It's a little too soon for that. But should he have a shot? Absolutely. We talk about it a lot on the Sun Devil Show. One of the most important things for success in a program is recruiting. And when you have a guy, and in order to be successful at recruiting, you need a foundation at home, especially when you're in a state with so much football talent like Arizona. Aguano had hundreds of high school recruits at his practice yesterday, and that's a start. He is already doing something that Herm Edwards was never capable of doing, getting players that are here to buy into the program and getting Arizona talent to think that ASU is a viable option. Of course he deserves a chance. You look at what happened with Herm Edwards. You got a big name with national recognition. It went terribly. You think this program is going to go out and get a Deion Sanders, an Urban Meyer? Why would they do that to themselves? Why would they retread that track? Or when they can go with someone like Shaun Aguano, who is established here, who has respect here, he absolutely should get an opportunity if he keeps on improving this team like he has over the last 2 weeks, which were losses, but were way better performances than we had seen at the beginning of the season with Herm Edwards. He absolutely deserves a shot.
Way to aim low, DePaz. I mean, look, if ASU wants to be a true power, and the likelihood that they're moving to the Big 12 gets more and more every day, if you want to be a real football program, go hire a real football coach. Find a guy who's either doing it at a lower level college right now and winning on the regular, or find a guy who's done it at a major college program before. The problem with ASU and U of A is they settle too far often, and they don't wind up being good enough because they do that. Herm Edwards was a ridiculous out-of-the-box look at things. It wasn't a proven guy. It was a guy that was friends with the athletic director. It's time to find a proven commodity so the sleeping giant can actually wake up finally. Tempe has everything you need to be a quality program, except for that quality coach. Now, that's not a rip on Shaun Aguano.
It is.
No, it really isn't. I'm a Chandler guy. You know what I think he should be? Head of recruiting. The guy can go in there and get you local kids, can talk it up like crazy, but I don't want a guy that his head coaching experience is only at the high school level, leading a Power 5 program who's trying to continually prove themselves that they can actually play with the big boys.
Okay, you're leaving a little part of Aguano's history out of this. It's not like they hired him out of high school. He's been a running backs coach at ASU for the last few years. And you know what the most productive position at ASU has been? Running backs. They have two guys in the NFL, Eno Benjamin and Rashad White, who are both very productive this last week. And that's in large part because of him. Aguano is a good coach. It's not like he has no experience coaching at a college level. And look at what he's done in 2 weeks against the two best opponents in the Pac-12. Already better performances than Herm had in the first 3 weeks against an NAU team who's not even FCS and FBS, excuse me, and an Eastern Michigan team who they lost to, and they're a MAC team. Aguano is already more productive. He absolutely deserves a shot.
Congratulations. He got them to listen more than Herm Edwards, who seemed checked out for the last year and a half. I'm not impressed by that. You need a guy with head coaching experience, not a guy who coached your running backs and did a good job at it. Make him the offensive coordinator if you want to keep him around, but don't make him the head coach. Go get a guy who's built a winning program at a Power 5 conference, or who has done things way more impressive at a lower level in the Power 5 as well. I'm not saying you have to get a guy that's won a national championship, but you got to get a guy who's actually coached as a head coach in the Power 5.
All right, chat. Voting time is starting momentarily. It's in the chat. Look to your right if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, come over and watch it on YouTube so you can get your vote. It'll be open for about a minute to a minute and a half, but today's voting time is sponsored by the Diefenlock. It's 2-0, guys.
I followed the Diefenlock religiously. I mean, not only because I was one of the people that helped suggest we should do it last year, it's because I trust Shane's picks. I mean, the only thing better than his mustache is his picks in the Diefenlock, and his mustache is legendary.
Yeah, I mean, the Diefenlock, you get the best of both worlds. You get good betting advice, and Shane's mustache is still in it. So, I mean, you win. The Diefenlock is 2-0. If you follow it, you win money this year. It's a statistical fact. Better than listening to someone like, just throwing a name out there, Anthony Totri, who takes like unders on Marcus Smart rebounds. You can listen to a guy that's a pro, that's experienced at this, and that's the one and only Shane Diefenbach.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Totri with picking my lunch, let alone picking my football picks. So go with the Diefenbach. I mean, it's the best that you're going to get out there.
We got a tight one, guys. I'm keeping this open for another 30 seconds. Get those votes in. Not everybody has voted. And again, if you're watching on Twitter, get over to YouTube. Watch this. Vote on it. Have an effect. We got about 10 seconds.
Steven in the chat, you're dead to me. Just mark that down, all right?
I'm going to build you a statue.
10 seconds until the voting is over. 5, 4.
I better not
3,
be under 500
2,
when this is done.
1.
Better not be.
You won't be over.
Better
Oh
not
boy, this is the tightest one we've had. Guys,
Wow.
it's time to announce the winner
Better be
of
me.
Southwest
Better not
Bias.
be under 500.
Oh God. Oh, we're just moving everything today.
It better not be Shaun just because you can't move the damn
Done. Let's just do that again. Pretend that didn't happen. Here we go. And the winner of Southwest Bias is... This was close. 54%
Wow.
chose Shaun DePaz.
What crap? I keep getting screwed in my own creation.
Getting
I
screwed,
hate all of
getting
you.
screwed is a weird way to say that you're just worse than the people that you debate.
This is all a Travis mockery. I know Totri and Shane are back there voting in this, supporting their own guy on their show, and I got people on my show that don't even know that this show exists.
You know what? I don't respect that you're insulting my integrity. I have never voted on this show. I just want to put that out there. Shaun moves to 2-1. Espo falls to 1-3.
You know what we're doing next week, Shane? You're sitting in this seat. I'm sitting behind the Mac, and we're switching it up.
Gladly.
You'll take on Shaun.
Gladly. You want to make the graphics? All right. Let's see what our punishment is.
Punishment time.
Sub 500 and embarrassed by Shaun. Notebook to pause. Punishment enough.
There's magic in these notebooks. Alex Pugs and Hugson, I'm a cutie. It is pretty embarrassing. Oh wow, look at this. Ryan said you should have even lost by more because he accidentally voted for you. We'll figure out a punishment. I mean, these punishments don't mean anything because we have the leader of our company not even paying up on his punishment when I beat him yet.
I will wear. I'll wear.
Fucking tried, you asshole.
He tried.
Hey.
He tried by wearing a nondescript licensed
How about
shirt.
this? I will wear. I will do what Saul wasn't willing. I'll wear full ASU gear on a show.
That's fine. You both can do it on the same show.
Fine with me.
It'll be the best looking show that you guys have had.
All right. Pleasure as always. Chat, thank you for tuning in and voting and engaging as always. You can follow Espo on Twitter at Espo. Follow Shaun on Twitter at Shaun_DePaz. Follow me on Twitter at Shane D. Follow
Read
company
between the lines.
at PHNX_sports on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We
God
are here
save the
every
king.
single Thursday. We'll let you know who the next matchup is before then. But 11 a.m. every Thursday.
I hate
Appreciate
you
it, guys.
all.